potato.
There you go. Give him some booze.
Cool. Say happy Patty's Day. No.
Little tequila for the Chihuahua. Oh yeah.
He's bad. Okay.
For top
Do you
prospect.
have something to start us off with, Ryan?
Nope.
I know we're already recording. I've seen that forever ago.
Yep. We are recording.
Don't start it like that. We need to
like what?
start it like, I don't know. We need to have like a intro or something.
What
Welcome
intro?
to our show.
We're just gonna start talking about hockey. Say FD intro.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
They're overrated.
I got one for you.
Like groggy.
I got you an intro. All right, guys. We're getting ready to start our podcast. I'm gonna share a screen with you. Just wants to get your initial reactions. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
What do you got? Yeah.
Oh God, no. No,
come
I don't
on.
even. That's what
No.
freaking nightmares are made out of, men.
Unless,
Unless it actually happened, in which case it'd be best kind.
yeah. The worst part about
Honestly-
Murrin is playing against him. I mean, it's hard. Like Kadri was plenty. And I love Kadri.
Okay, well, we need to remember that not everybody watches this. So in case anybody can't see this, Ryan
Actually,
just
if
threw
Kadri
us
licks
up.
somebody, if Kadri licks someone, I probably have a problem with him, man. I don't know. It's just too
Ryan
much.
just threw up a picture of Brad Marchand in a Leafs jersey. In case you're wondering what we're all.
You know what? He
yucking
actually had to
over.
go. He actually had to go save that. That's on his computer.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryan. That's
Man.
what viruses. That's how viruses start.
Mad
That doesn't
love
wash
for
off.
Marchand, obviously. Yeah, no, that one caught me off guard the other day, and I said I'll grab that. I might use it for something at some point. And that's when I thought about throwing it up for you guys just to have an initial reaction. It actually,
Let's say
actually-
Habstein did that.
stuff generally doesn't bother me, but there was something when I seen it, I was like, it's just wrong. Like there's nothing about it that even seems remotely right. I mean, I've always been the kind of guy who's like, oh, he'd be great if he was on our team. I'd probably like him. But I'm looking, I'm like, no, still don't like him.
I don't either,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, if they announced it tomorrow that we traded, honestly, like even a 5th round draft pick or something for him, I still
Marinson.
wouldn't. Right? Oh, Martin Marinson. That'd probably be the only trade that I would be happy about right
No,
now. to
I
have
mean,
Brad
obviously, we'd
Marchand.
be a fool not to be excited if
I know he's
30
he's a
goal
fantastic
scorer was
player,
coming to our team who was an agitator and threw hits and could play
which
penalty
is something
kill.
we
and-
need.
I mean,
And
but I don't like
he's
him.
an East Coaster. He's an East Coaster, so I mean, represent there. But like
Coast
at the end of the
lifestyle.
day,
And he's got
It's
some
still Brad
Newfoundland real estate
Marchand.
now. He's got
Yeah.
central real estate in Newfoundland, hunting
Yeah,
lodge.
Wow.
buying a property in the wilderness in the middle of nowhere.
shit,
Gotta
just
love
like the rest of us.
Well, on that note, guys, we'll start our podcast,
Yes.
I guess. So,
Yeah.
welcome to the Snipe Silly Podcast, episode number 8, with your hosts Kylie Murrin, Chad Newman, and myself, Ryan Gates. How you guys been? Been a little while. We're a little bit behind. I guess it's been probably 8 or 9 days since the Theo Fleury podcast, which I'm
We're
still
coming
reeling
around
from
on
a
that
little
one.
bit myself. I've watched it a couple of times myself. How you guys feeling?
Yeah.
Great.
Pretty good, actually.
Happy Patty's Day tomorrow.
Yeah. I wanted to take these 4 days and just honestly have a break from the Leafs.
Plus, it's
I
a
don't
team
know
that just
about-
needs it.
Yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but like it really does affect my mood. Like I'm in a bad mood when they're doing bad. I'm in a bad mood and it pisses me off. So it's just like I need a break or my boyfriend's going to kick me out. Not really, but
The Atom is going to kick you out.
the
You should.
Atom. One of these days
Do
we'll
it.
meet him.
We should have Adam as a guest someday.
Oh
So
God,
he-
listen, you can't handle that.
So he can give us all the dirt.
Sure, we can.
Yeah. Hashtag Adam. All right.
Too funny.
Well, talking about the bad mood, we'd be remiss if we didn't start talking about the poor play. So
Ugh.
there was a lot made of the first 2 games where the Leafs did play really well and still only got, the win in overtime, basically. They got 2 points out of the first 2 games
That they're ready to
when they
show.
probably deserved 4. But instead, Winnipeg walks away with 3 of those points.
Winnipeg.
So what do you guys make of it? I mean, we'll talk about the Anderson bit in a little while. Just kind of all in, one and the same, but from a team play perspective, what's the most standoutish flaw to their game, something that you're like, this is obviously the problem?
Giveaways.
Giveaways, penalty kill.
The absolute
Well, getting penalties and then
pizzas.
trying to kill it.
Yeah, the pizzas up the middle of the ice, just the lack of awareness and attention to detail. It's just a freaking mess.
Yeah.
All over. And I don't want to be the typical excuses, but I mean, fatigue is a lot of it. And I know everybody has the same schedule. It's just everybody's breaks are at different times. And I'm kind of glad that the Leafs break is now as opposed to earlier or even later, because I think with or without this 4 days, this was going to happen at some point or another. You know what I mean?
It's happened to a lot of teams so far.
Yeah, and it happens to all the teams. And they got 4 days now, and then they play 2 games back to back against Calgary, and then they're off for another 4 days. So they need it. We need it.
Listen, they got all those wins. They weren't easy, so they're definitely showing some wear and tear. You know, I mean, they're
A lot of guys are
beat
hurt.
up and banged up and tired from winning. I just think they were looking forward to the break, that they checked out before the break actually got here. I think
100%.
their minds are already on break. Their
Yep.
bodies are trying to keep up and just not getting it together. Unless you're Zach Hyman.
He's the only person who never gives up. He
And
never
Willie was all
empties
right
his
though.
tank.
Willie's been solid.
Willie did good. Yeah. Willie
Yeah.
Styles did good.
So, with reference to poor play, there was a lot made, too much made on social media about Freddie Anderson and his inability to lead the team and all these good things. Can't win a Stanley Cup with Freddie Anderson. So much so, actually, that one of our fan sites that we help run, Leaf Station Newfoundland, Chad decided to throw it up in a poll to see what everyone thought. And the vast majority of people think Freddie Anderson's not the goalie to lead us to the promised land.
The vast majority of the vocal.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are your guys' thoughts on Fred, his poor play, this talk of him not being the guy? Curious.
Okay. You go first.
I think for the way this team is designed, this $5 million Freddie, he ain't $10 million Freddie, like Carey Price. He's $5 million Freddie. He is quite capable. We've all seen that. He has ups and downs, just like most players. And again, he's $5 million. Just like the team is excellent. So is Freddie. They do have rough patches. And that's where we're at. It's a rough patch for Freddie, rough patch for the team. They're going to have ups and downs. I mean, they always do. You're going to have to get over that, because what team has been like batting 1,000? And what goalie has? You know, it's like every loss is just so unacceptable. And somebody's got to go now.
In Leafs Nation, it is.
Well,
yeah,
and that's part of the problem is that right now, expectations are at an elite level. They never have been before. Not even in '93. Like right now, the expectation is for this team to win a Stanley Cup.
Oh,
and
nothing
with
less.
that expectation, everyone's looking at the goaltender and saying, you need to be better, because obviously your numbers this season haven't been that good. But as we all know, the man's also been injured and missed a bunch of games. And Fred is not exactly one of those guys who plays well after he comes back from being laid up, i.e. October. Right? So you look back at any of the times Freddie's missed games for injury. When he comes back, there's always a rough patch. There always is. He got to get into his stride and get playing. He's not a bad goalie, not by any stretch. So I was really, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no Fred Anderson. You know, I don't bow to the altar of Freddie Anderson by any stretch. Do I think he's a fantastic goalie? Yes, I do. Is he capable of winning a Stanley Cup? Yes. All I need him to prove to me is that he can close out a series. If he can prove one thing to me, win a game 7, just one, then I'll say, yep, you're the guy. So that's the only thing he hasn't shown us yet. He can't close it out, right? So once he does that, I'll be satisfied to say, yep, he's our guy. So
yeah.
That's where I'm
how much would Colorado pay for him right now?
How much would
King's
a lot
ransom.
of teams pay for Freddie right now?
Edmonton would pay a king's ransom.
Yep.
We're much better off with Freddie than whatever alternative people have no interest
out there.
in.
There's nothing out there.
No, like show me. Let's talk about it.
The whole concept of what have you done for me lately drives me crazy with Leafs fans.
Yes.
I mean, when people are saying things like, oh, well, Fred's playing so bad, we may as well play the backup. See where that got us the other night? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Michael Hutchinson.
Look how long it lasted.
Well, he's a capable backup. He's still a backup goaltender. And everyone was like, the day after, like, okay, on waivers with Hutchinson. He's still not that bad, guys.
No.
There's such a thing as equilibrium here, right? He had a shutout one game. He let in 2 goals in 7 seconds in another game.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between is Michael Hutchinson, right?
Yeah, he's not.
He
this
should be playing with the
elite guy
Marlies.
that
That's where he lives. He lives with the
that's
Marlies.
where he. Honestly, I agree too.
I
I
like
did
the
want to
guy.
say, going back to the Fred thing though. Isn't it weird that when Fred is almost, like I said this a few episodes ago, when he's overworked, he's way better.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like he gets these breaks, or he's, i.e., injured or whatever it is, like breaks, so to speak, whether it is vacation or whatnot, a night off. It's like he's cold and he's not the same Freddie. I almost feel like saying, stick the man in the net, leave him in there, and just let him work out his shit, because I think it's between his 2 ears. And I like you said, there's nobody out there that's available or that would give us a goalie to help us right now. There's
You want to see how good Freddie is? Take away the defense again.
Exactly.
You want to see how bad he is or how good he is? Take away the defense. Give him 40 shots a night again.
Yeah, and then people forget what he put up with for so many years, and it's just like, give him time to adjust, because he's also changed a lot of his aspects of his game too, as well as the team in front of him has changed their aspects of the game. So there's a lot of adjustments. There's a lot of, I don't know. I just feel like in such a 56 game schedule, you just give the man a break.
I think too, people are like, oh, we lost a couple of games. Fred lost games for us, which is not the case.
No.
And his numbers were bad. That is the case. His numbers weren't good. However, his numbers weren't good because of the high quality scoring chances. I mean, while there was a couple that were kind of soft, out of the 12 goals that were scored in that series or whatever it was, there was a couple that you could say, yeah, okay, he maybe should have had them. But you can say that for any goalie in the league. The rest of it was 2-on-1s, like half clapper, Nikolai Ehlers ripping it. You know, like, I mean, like,
Tips,
just
deflections.
ridiculous. Stasny deflecting it up high, down low. I mean, like, stuff that he had no chance on. So, like, his numbers were bad because of the high quality scoring chances. So there's just so much taken out of context with the Freddie Anderson argument.
I just feel like Leafs Nation always needs their scapegoat. And they just, whether it goes from Jake Gardner to Nazem Kadri being kicked out, to Martin Murrin, to Michael Hutchinson, Garrett Sparks, there's always that person, William Nylander, there's somebody. Yeah, and literally, like, they drive them out of town, and it needs to stop, because one of these days we're going to go back to, you're going to remember how it feels to have James Reimer in it, or whatever, Bernier, Tascla, somebody, and then you're going to say, holy shit, where's Freddie Anderson? Why did we do that? Why did we let him walk? Why did we run him out of the city?
Yeah.
And I can't say we as three of us here, but as a collective Leafs Nation, people need to calm the hell down.
Yeah,
it's
and I'm just as bad. I should take my own advice, but it's just like, holy shit, it's bad. I got to stay off Twitter and everything. It gets bad up on there. Like, it's nasty,
I do believe in hockey gods too. I always have. Just like when cat shit guy ate the cat shit there the other year, that was hockey gods wanting to see it happen. When we lost the other night, it was the hockey gods that said, okay, let's throw a few Nazem Kadri highlights on here. Now let's show Nazem Kadri toe dragging through the slot and roofing it, because that's just the way it works. Let's give Leafs fans a taste of their own medicine and show them what they're doing here to players. Right? Kadri never should have lasted with the Leafs as long as he did. They were trying to run him out of town when he was a rookie, because he was showing up fat at camp or some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So you know why they always didn't like Nas is because he was different. And
did they also go to arbitration once?
Nobody will ever admit it, but I mean, that was 10, 12 years ago. World was a bit different back then, and as harsh as it is now, it was a lot worse back then.
Well, here's the solution to the Freddie problem.
That too. I mean, the NHL of all the leagues in the world has got a long way to come when it comes to race issues and inclusion and all these things that we talk about that's supposed to be an open book. The league still got a ways to go. So
they do.
At least they're working towards it, I guess. I think we'll slide on, guys. While we've been gone, there was a trade made. Huge trade, massive impact trade for the organization. We traded a guy who I didn't know of last year for a guy who I still don't know nothing about this year. We traded. Can you get me the names? Because I can't pronounce it.
You got
Nico
the shit.
Lehtinen. I'll get that one.
Okay,
can
you
do
can do
that
that one. Let Kylie do the other one.
No.
Come on, try it.
Vinny Velvinen.
Vinny Velvinen is. I think that's probably as close as we're going to get.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
V's. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I'm good with that. We'll go with that. So yeah, there was a trade, and while it wasn't massive, ramifications of the trade could be huge if we lose a defenseman. To be honest, that's the first thing that caught my mind. I'm like, if we're gearing up here and we want the most depth possible going into a playoff run or whatever, what are you doing trading a roster player for a guy who's obviously not even going to play with the Marlies? Not likely. He might.
Well, yeah. Well, you got a starter and a backup that have already been injured this year, and you got Michael Hutchinson. And then what? Wall, who has never played a game, and Scott, who's injured as well.
So tell me where this goalie sits on your depth chart then. Where does this new goalie, who no one's ever seen play, sit on your depth
Behind
chart?
Hutch?
In the next 12 days, I'd say no, he slides in ahead of Hutch.
He's got one
I'd say-
NHL
I'd
game,
say-
don't he? Like one, I think.
11 minutes or something? Was that him?
Oh man, I mean, he's got to be
No.
behind Wall. He's got to
Then
be.
again-
Wall's practiced with the team for at least 2
yeah, they've
years.
Then
been
again-
walling backing up Hutch.
Everybody likes to
So-
go. Dubas goes through the Marlies first anyway. That's where you go.
Yeah,
So
he
you're going
got
down
to.
there with
He's-
Galchenyuk.
Got to
So,
learn the
hang out.
systems,
Yeah,
which is true, 100%.
no,
Mhm.
I get
But
it. But when
I
when
feel like it. Go ahead.
no, when I look at the trade, I was like, I just don't understand it. Like if Travis Dermott got injured tomorrow, if he took
Yeah.
a puck to the skate, which is highly likely in this season, and
Mhm.
broken ankle or broken foot, who are you putting in? Marv.
No.
Irv. Lilligren's
No.
playing all right with the Marlies. so
That's
far.
about the extent of it, though. He's
Sandine, I
playing
know
all
he's
right.
hurt. We also have Kivilhami.
I like
Kilhelm.
that guy.
Yeah, Kilhelm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
I-
doing really well.
Watching,
I mean, I feel like Dubas is quite confident in the depth he has right now on D, because for
Sandine
years
will be
it's
back
all
soon.
we focused on was D and drafting D and trading for D and everything. And now it's like he even said today in the presser, I'm not worried about the D, or I'm not looking for D. I'm looking for forwards.
Yep.
So
It's such a
he's
weird concept to me.
obviously-
I guess
I
I'm
know,
so
I'm
damaged
not,
from
I'm
years.
I'm not used to this, but
Right.
obviously he's confident in what we got, and I am too. Like if, like you said, if Dermott goes out tomorrow, yes, okay, Marv is probably the next best thing. But there's also, we forgot, there's Callie Rosen, there's that Kivalami guy.
I really
Um,
like him, and like I know he played well at training camp for the very short amount of time he was here on the island.
He did.
I liked him then. I thought he looked good. After watching that Marlies game the other night, I was like, "Yeah, kid can play." Now I don't know if
Yeah.
he's,
good.
I haven't
Watched that
I haven't
game.
been interested enough in him to actually look to see what his stats are this year, but he was on the ice continuously. Like he was
His
there
name was said a lot.
a lot. He was
Yeah.
all over the
Yep.
puck. He was on he was on a forecheck at one point. I was like, "What are you doing, kid? Like where are you
Your
going?"
defenseman, get
Right?
back there.
Get back there. But again, he pinched at the right times. You know, he knew when to jump in. He knew when to stay back. I thought he looked fantastic. So I always like getting a surprise when I watch Marlies. I always do. I love when a Marlies game comes on. I haven't seen them for a while. I was like,
Yeah.
this guy looks good. This Cartier guy, I don't know anything about him. He looks
Mhm.
good,
No.
capable
what's
at
his
least.
name
You know,
looked really good too. Joey Anderson, he
Yeah,
did. He
Joey
looked
Anderson.
really good the other night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
So I
Poor
feel
man
like
Zach
we're-
Hyman, they're calling him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have quite a few kids, I'll say, in the depth charts that we kind of forget about, and you're reminded of when you do watch a Marlies game, like we did the other night, and it kind of reminds us that okay, there's a little bit back there.
We got some
whether or
groceries in the
not-
cupboards.
Yeah, there's some guys that we could, and especially if they're given the opportunity, they're going to try just that much more.
Well, I'll tell you.
You know.
And like I said, I texted you guys the other night while I was watching the game when I found out it was on. I was like, the Patan, Galchenyuk, Barabanov line.
Yeah.
was an absolute handful. They got no business in the
Killer.
AHL
No, they don't.
None.
No,
They
they
were-
should be our fourth line, honestly.
by, if not our
Nice
fourth
hard
line.
check third, like a nice hard checking line that's going to go out and beat the shit out of the defense, see opposing defense.
Give them a bit of
and just-
time.
Well, my
Yeah.
problem
Coming.
is
some
I've
wins.
always been a Nick Patan fan. I've been a Nick Patan fan before they even got him, and
Mhm.
I still don't feel like he's gotten a proper shake. And I really thought when Keefe took over the job, and because Keefe played the guts out of him with the Marlies, he was on in
Mhm.
every key situation. Patan was on the ice, and he scored a ton of goals. I was like, okay, Nick Petan's finally going to get his shake with the NHL, and nothing. I mean,
There's
he's got a
something
couple of games
missing from that game. There's definitely something missing for him to be bouncing around, and he's great to pop in because he has the experience. He can compete at that level, but for how long? There's something.
He's
there's
such
something
a
just
scrappy little
missing.
player.
And I like
he's
him.
still got the
I like him too.
hands.
I mean,
Maybe
I like
it's
Josh.
just-
I like Josh Lebo too. He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
But just
holding
couldn't
down the
stick,
job in
right?
Calgary, but yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I think that
I'll
brings
find
us to
somebody
talk about Jimmy VC being on waivers today. Then, if we're
Ah.
going to talk about our extra depth, let's talk about
Yeah.
VC being on waivers.
We got
How do we
forwards
feel
to
about that?
well, Dubas's explanation of that was he needed the cap flexibility to be
Yeah.
able to
Yes.
move some things around with
Campbell is
Campbell
back
coming
on
back, right? 'Cause
LTIR,
with Campbell
and
coming
same
back,
with
we're hard against it.
Simmons. Same
So-
with Simmons. So Simmons
And
must be
the-
returning. Well, he was planning on coming back this weekend, so
Well,
hopefully
we had
he's
a lot
right
of
on
injuries, a lot of
track.
calls.
Yeah.
You know, taxi squad's been full and bouncing around. It's just
The taxi squad has like a salary cap ish something too. There's something to do with that as well. Obviously, I don't know.
I don't know the
whole
ins and outs of
the
Taxi
comp-
Squad.
you know,
I
yeah,
was
no.
literally not interested enough this year to learn. I was like, I don't
It
care.
was just,
Whatever.
Yeah, it was
Just-
only
just-
this 1 year. I'm not. I'm not
Just tell me who
worried
got
too much
COVID and
about
who
it.
don't. That's what I want to know.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the
Pretty
VC thing, I
much.
found it interesting because not necessarily for the Leafs. I get it. They need some cap flexibility. He's the odd man out in the bottom six. I get it. But my question is, there's has to be a team in Canada, because I mean, you can move them around Canada, no problem, who's a playoff team, i.e. Montreal, Calgary, Winnipeg, Oilers. There's got to be one of those teams who needs a bit of scoring depth. And
I'd
Jimmy
say it's gonna be
VC,
Oilers.
Jimmy
Do
VC
you
in the right
think he's-
situation could fill in that role, right?
I feel
Yeah.
like he might get taken. He might get snatched up.
I'd be very shocked if tomorrow morning Jimmy VC's leave. I
Yeah,
would.
it's a cheap one. He
Why
doesn't
does this
cost much.
happen? I can't
His
remember.
cap
I
hits
know it's
league
not.
min.
It's
It's
league
or
min,
750 or
right?
something like that. It's like
Yeah,
nothing.
like come on. For like if you're
Yeah.
a team who needs depth, you'd be looking at Jimmy VC right now.
Say hello
And-
to Edmonton.
Obviously, he's expendable to the Leafs. They look at, okay, who can we risk losing? And if he's one of them,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I think he would have been the obvious choice because he just hasn't worked out the way we all wanted
No,
to.
and, like,
Good worker. He put the work in,
He's
but
been, yeah. And I mean, you look at the couple goals that he scored the last few games, and I said this to my boyfriend when it happened, and I'll say it again now, is it's like anybody could have scored those goals. If
yeah,
like there were
Okay.
passes for the most
In
part.
the
There were
NHL.
passes from Spezza. But you know what I mean. Like if
Yeah.
anybody was in the right place at that same time, or you know what I mean, was on that wing, they would
Yeah.
have been there, and they would have been the one receiving that pass, just a bang it in. It was no like let's go down toe drag, deke them out their socks type of goals, or
Yeah.
a complete setup, west from coast to coast or anything. I don't know. It was just.
he didn't score Zach Hyman goal.
No, it was just freaking Jason Spezza pass to you.
Yeah,
How do you not score after so many tries? And that's probably the reason why he's on waivers today, honestly, because he's never really done anything too special. His defensive
No.
game sucks, and that's my opinion of Jimmy VC.
Yeah.
All that said, like I said, I still think he's a viable option for some team that needs depth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need depth in the bottom six. We got loads of it.
We got
Marley's
loads,
proved
yeah.
that the other night.
It's the
So
top
I get it.
that we need.
I get the move. So, on that note, Kylie's wide awake. She got the blood pumping. She's talking. Off topic. What do you got? Off topic with Kylie Murrin.
There's a few things.
There
I mean,
always
there's
is.
always something off topic. Like I said, last time I went to Netflix.
God.
Well, I know something we didn't bring up. It's not off topic because we just talked about it, but I do want to say this. The little minor trade that happened this past week, I think it was like a little IOU kind of for something coming up, and then there's some trade rumors this week. That's
And
my
breaking
off
bread.
topic. Yeah, I'm thinking something more is happening, and Kyle Dubas has like a little IOU or what's his name in Columbus?
Oh,
Kikalainen.
Oh my
Finnish GM.
goodness.
Well,
What's his
Kikalainen.
name?
Kikalainen, there you go.
Yes, I could not think of his name.
Finnish names
He
are
has like a
escaping us
little
tonight.
IOU in his back pocket that he owes Kyle Dubas now. Like, you just give us an NHL ready defenseman. for essentially a goalie that may never even play for the Marlies. And I think it's going to be, and then that trade rumor comes out like 2 days later.
Yeah.
Maybe some salary retained,
I don't know. Well, like I said, like I mentioned when this deal broke, one thing that is fact, just this deal proves that both GMs were talking to each other about something. And I can't imagine Kyle was like, you know what I really need?
Yeah.
You know what I need? I need a goalie for the Growlers next year. That's what that's on the top of my list. Gotta get the guys a goalie on the rock.
And this is my thinking as well, right?
He did say he wanted to do right by Lettinen for coming over and giving the Leafs first chance. He wanted to send him somewhere to.
I don't buy it.
There's how many other teams could he choose from though? That probably could have offered something a little bit better.
It definitely knows the GM really well, I think.
There's something.
They've got history.
Something brewing. This was just their first little. Okay, well, we can get this out of the way quick. And I did see something too online saying they want to wait as far as they can, considering the quarantine and everything like that aside, but something to do with the salary cap and the way that their salaries are prorated. Longer that they wait to do the trade, the cheaper, I guess, the player would be coming off the cap and all this fun stuff. So that is and also another reason why it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah. And the quarantine is always
possible.
The US Canada quarantine sucks.
What are your trade proposals? What do you guys? I know you probably did. You see the one that was proposed the other day?
Foligno and Jenner.
Yeah, for Liljegren. Who was it? I can't remember.
Liljegren,
Kerfoot,
Engvall, and a draft pick.
And a draft pick.
It was one of the websites, a draft pick.
Yeah, one of the websites had Liljegren in there. Another website didn't mention Liljegren.
That's right.
I'd rather do a draft pick than Liljegren just because we just lost Mikko. We don't want to lose Timothy Liljegren too.
Mm-hmm.
And draft picks could be lottery picks. Like we have absolutely no idea what that could be. A unicorn.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm over Timothy Liljegren. And
I kind of am too.
I'm not throwing him under the bus because I'm always the guy who says, wait till he's 27. You know, let's not jump ahead of ourselves.
Defensemen do tend to take a little bit longer sometimes.
But I've watched him a lot, and I'm like, I don't really see anything that stands out. Just like, you know,
he's a
that's
really
a
good
first round draft
AHL
pick right
defenseman.
there. Right.
Listen, I'm cool to keep him, but if he brings back something really good, I mean, sure.
Yeah, why
I'm
not?
like that with most. Anyway,
I don't want it to be a rental type situation though for our prospects. That's what I'm kind of afraid of. But I know Carl Dubas isn't going to do something stupid like that.
He's not. He said he's open. He's okay with the rental. If it's going to be a rental, he wants to go all in, which is exciting.
It is. It's obviously if they have the confidence in that team, then I guess we should do. But damaged.
Seems like we're rolling into hot takes and fast breaks even before we're
Yeah. All right. The hot take.
Chad. Roll with us.
Because Dubas said he's willing to give up the top prospect. Some kind of top prospect. He's open and he wants to make a deal.
In your mind, as a educated fan who watches the draft and the minors, where would you rank our top three? Who's our top three prospects currently? I think we all know number one.
Actually, yeah. Do you know what's funny about that? I was going to say that. You know what name never pops up in my head? I don't see any news on it. Just always.
Topi?
No, Amarov. I mean,
that's another one. Yeah, I was thinking that Topi
Niemela.
I can't say his last name. I'm horrible.
Yeah, Don Cherry is Niemela.
Niemela. I thought of Bayman. I'm sorry.
Amarov number one
is another one. Yeah.
Or Sandine.
I'm going to disagree. Our top prospect is Nick Robertson.
Right? Yes, Nick Robertson's not going anywhere. He's coming. If he's going anywhere, he's coming up to the NHL with the Leafs.
I love Nick Robertson. I think Amarov and Sandine will have bigger careers.
Yeah.
I love Robertson though. I do.
I mean, look at his brother. His brother's tearing it up right now, and I honestly think Nick is better than his brother.
Rasmus Sandin,
just my opinion,
is a very underrated prospect. When you go down through the list of players who won the World Junior Hockey Championship defenseman of the tournament.
Yeah.
It's a tall list of NHL elite defensemen.
So I'll go
Right.
there. Or Emerov, depending, but I don't see enough news on him right now. And
No.
it's
Still
gonna
too young,
light that
I
fire to
think.
go have a look at him. I want to go see how he's doing.
They passed up some good players to draft Amarov, so he best be good.
Yeah.
Right? I was
He
really
is
hoping for
good.
the Dawson Mercer thing because I was,
Well,
local.
this is the
Yeah,
thing that
me
killed me.
too. But
Everyone was upset because you never took Dawson Mercer and all that stuff. And, you always take the best player available. I think people are more upset because there's no hype over Emerov. But when you watch him, there should be all kinds of hype. Shitloads of hype.
true.
And there's nothing. So I'm going to make hype for him. I'm going to make it a point to put Emerov news on the Leafs Nation site and just see how that kid's doing. Because there's
Yeah,
nowhere
good
else.
idea. Good idea.
And on the Twitter.
I honestly think though passing up Dawson Mercer was kind of a mistake just because I feel like he's like a Zach Hyman type player. And I mean,
They compare him to Patrice Bergeron. Now, I mean, obviously he's not, but if he's anywhere
Nah.
near that style of player, holy
He's
hell!
well-rounded.
yeah.
And he's
I
supposed
mean,
to be the
true.
character guy, like the glue that was sticking teams together.
Yeah, he's a nice young fella.
Well,
but
again, shameless plug for Deep Snipe Silly Podcast. Go back and watch episode 3, Joe Bowen, one of our favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Joe mentions Dawson and speaks quite fondly of him as he had a son who played on the same team.
mhm.
So Dawson Mercer, local boy, gonna do big things, we hope. But yeah,
Get
if
him
you
on the
haven't
show.
watched-
Cheer for.
if you haven't watched episode 3, turn this garbage off. Go watch it. That's what you want to do. You don't want to watch Chad drinking beer and Kylie being sleepy. Right?
Mm,
I do say, I mean,
pretty cute when I'm sleepy.
so says the boyfriend.
Yeah, that's the
So says the girl. So hot takes, fast breaks. Mrs. Murrin, what do you got?
hot take. Kyle Dubas does something before the trade deadline. He's making splashes. That's my hot take.
Dubas.
What kind of move? I want this hot, steamy hot take. What do you got?
I
What's he
don't know.
going-
He's definitely looking for someone to play up there with Johnny and Willie, 100%. Now I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that maybe he's waiting for Simmer to come back and see how he fits in up there because he never really got a shot, and then maybe make his move. I don't know.
I don't think
But-
so.
Because there's no money, so somebody
Wayne
has
Simmons
to
was
go.
never supposed to play up there to begin with.
No,
No.
he's really
He was
wasn't.
definitely
But
playing
who
well
else
enough,
is-
though.
Oh yes, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
so
that.
who else
Absolutely.
who else would you put up there though right now? Like Hyman. Okay, let's put Hyman with Matthews and Marner. Who's with Johnny and Willie?
I personally prefer
Kirk?
Zach Hyman on the third line.
Third line. That's just about to say it.
I do
That
too.
makes-
It's okay, who
that's a
who
beast
plays
of a
with
line.
Matthews and Marner then?
I
That's where
know.
it's like
I
we
know,
need
but
somebody.
to me, Jumbo looked fine. I have no
Too
issue.
slow.
No,
Oh, actually, that's
not
the new
too
whipping
slow.
boy. Everyone's saying this. Like all of a sudden, all this Joe Thornton doubt. Where does he fit? How long is he going to keep it up? I'm like, God,
I think he
give it a
did great
rest.
though. I do.
Give it a
I
rest.
just I the last few games seeing him with John Tavares and William Nylander, I just think it was even better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to
Just
throw this out
because-
there again for the 1 millionth time. You know who's a decent hockey player on the Toronto Maple Leafs? Jason Spezza.
Spezza. I know. I
So,
don't know what
they have
what their
loads of options.
hesitation is with
either.
Spezza. Like why they keep him down where he is.
I don't know.
Is it a
It's-
speed
it's-
thing?
it's-
Is it a
It's
load
got nothing to
management
do with
type
him not
thing?
being good enough.
It gives me a
No.
twitch. Like I do this. Like when I think about Jason Spezza not playing in the top 6, I get a little twitch because
He plays
To me-
fantastic with the minutes he's given.
Yeah, it's
Would he
true.
do
And
better with
if he
more?
had more, maybe we wouldn't see
Exactly.
the results that we've seen.
Go and
So
give him
maybe
hurt,
he'd have
then
20
he's gone.
goals.
I trust
I don't
the
think so.
whatever that they have up there in Toronto because they
Ah,
are doing
Ugh.
sometimes. I trust it sometimes.
Listen,
the process.
his nickname is Vintage. He's doing great. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
He's doing fantastic.
But it's just funny because when you look at it, Joe Thornton is like 5 or 6 years older than Jason Spezza. But yet we have Joe
Mm-hmm.
Thornton on our first line. So try Jason Spezza up there. He's got caught out there many a times taking faceoffs and been out there on the top line and
Yep.
was fine.
I'm telling you who's going to get a look very, very soon is Alex Galchenyuk. He's
Mickey.
going to get a look in the top
Oh.
6.
I was gonna
Think
say
so?
Mikheyev.
I think so. I think that they're gonna pull Zach Hyman back to the third line where he should be because that makes us 3 lines deep like no one's business.
Mhm.
And they're
And
gonna give
see if-
they're gonna give
yeah.
Galley a try on both top lines.
Is he a
What's to
left
lose?
winger or right winger? I have to look this up.
Left.
Left?
Thing is, like, he's doing good now. Do you take him out when he starts doing good, or do you leave him for a bit? And what if he keeps down there the whole year just to give him that confidence? Like, hey,
Oh, they haven't put on the
pull him out
Texas
again.
squad though. I didn't know that.
Try to get him paid.
He was moved up to the. Yeah, it could be, but that is good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's coming.
But
He's going to get an
He's
audition.
doing great,
somewhere.
though.
I said it
If
when
he's
they
up
traded him.
sh-
If this works, it'll be one of the coolest GM moves of all time.
Literally, how many like failures of people per se has Kyle Dubas kind of like taken in?
Yeah.
You know, like he's one of them. I
down
was
and
kind
out.
of say Wayne Simmons is almost not a failure, but like
Tyler
you know what I
Ennis.
mean. Tyler Ennis, there's a few for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to look here. Okay, yeah. So I knew Mitch shot right, and then Willie shoots right. So yeah, it could work. Galchenyuk could definitely come up
Yeah.
and be on one of the top two lines for sure. That's
Hot
probably
Fast breaks.
that is a hot take. That is definitely a hot
Yeah,
take, and
I
I
like
think
it.
it's an accurate one.
That's
That's also a reference
Actually, it's
to
not as hot as
people
it gets. I got one for you.
You got another one?
Yep. Because that wasn't even a hot take. That was me filling in on the back of yours. My hot take is the greatest goaltender in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs is Frederick
You'd have to say-
Anderson.
Well, by the numbers, yeah.
He already broke all the records for the most part, hasn't
Mhm.
he? Like
Yeah.
has he gotten the most wins?
Franchise
No, he
wins.
still has to. Yeah, he has to beat. Is it franchise wins?
Well, franchise
He
win
already got-
percentage by a large margin.
Yeah, win percentage.
Yes, because
He's
there
at
was
like
one.
57% of his games. Frederick Anderson wins. So if Frederick Anderson wins 57% of his games in the playoffs, we're going to be in an awfully good spot.
Yeah.
So
I don't doubt him at all. I
no.
really don't.
career save percentages there, percentage wins. He's better than Joseph, Potvin, Johnny Bauer, Turk Broda. The list
You name
goes
it.
on. Jacques
There's-
Plante, even, and that's not even one of our guys. Like he's better than historically
Mhm.
a lot of goalies who. I went back and looked at it. Any goalies who had more than 100 wins with the Leafs. Now that's goalies who are obviously bona fide number one goaltenders,
Yeah.
starting goaltenders. There's a list of them that's very short, and I listed off most of
Mhm.
them just now.
Yeah.
Broda, Bauer, Joseph, Potvin. I think there's one or two more.
It's just like when the team loses, like I said, Leafs Nation just has to blame it on somebody. And no doubt Freddie's been playing garbage the last few games, but it's not just Freddie. The entire team has been playing like shit.
It's never
And-
like, hey, come on, let's get
Like,
back to
it's not
going."
like-
off the team. Get out
It's
of
like
here.
people,
Suck.
people's like, oh, we need them to save those games for us. Yes, we do. But if the players are excused for playing like shit, why can't Freddie be excused too? Because he
I don't
has to
think
win
it-
the game.
Yeah.
Like, no, he would have won the game for us last game had Hutch didn't let in those first two shots.
I
Because
was
the
having
score
a,
would have been, like it's just supposed to give him a break.
I was having a
drives me
great debate
insane.
with a guy on our local site there the other day about Frederick Anderson, and they kept throwing numbers at me. I'm a numbers guy. I like it. Come on
Yeah.
with the numbers. Oh well, this year his save percentage is sub 900. Oh, the last 4 games he's let in 12 goals. All these numbers. Then I said, there's one more games than any goalie in Leafs history. Oh well, no. Wins is a team stat. I'm like, no,
What
it's
I'm
not.
talking about now.
And losses ain't.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So like you can't have it both ways. Right? If you're
And
gonna
like,
hang the loss on them, then
There's-
the wins as a team is a goalie stat as well.
yeah,
So-
there's just so many people you just want to shake sometimes.
I know.
Like-
Which is what leads me to part B of my hot take. So it's part A. I'm gonna have
Oh,
B, C, D, and E. I might just keep this going all night.
Keep on going.
Part
6
B,
o'clock tomorrow morning.
hot
What?
take. The Toronto Maple Leafs fans are the worst fans on the planet. And I know
100%.
that's our fan base that's supposed to be watching us right now. And
Yeah.
if you're watching us and you're a well-adjusted individual, you'll agree with
You
me.
know.
Because it's
Yeah.
it's intolerable. It's literally intolerable.
And
I-
this past week has just proved it.
Yeah.
the best Toronto Maple Leafs team that I've ever seen. The best Toronto Maple Leafs team which I may ever see. I hope not. I hope it only gets better from here. But I have a hard time envisioning a better team than we currently have. Like, what are you going to put
I
on
don't
it?
know.
McDavid on the third line? I don't know. Like, I
Really,
have no
though.
idea. So you just got to get over yourselves, boys. Have a little relax. It's Patty's Day. Have a drink, have a smoke, whatever it is you're into.
So,
Really
do
roll
a
with
little
it.
Yeah, just
something.
roll with
Like,
it.
if you got
Roll with
to. It's just like,
It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to
Yes.
be upset.
we are. I literally said the other night after the game, I cannot film tonight. I am too mad.
I'm
Like
not gonna go
it's
over and
just
kick the dog.
I still
you
would have
know,
liked to
it's-
see the
Right.
film during Madness. I think that would have been awesome.
yeah, but I mean,
I would have
it's
been
just, it's
entertained.
embarrassing. Okay, but
I would have edited out nothing.
and I believe that. But it's just like, calm down. It'll be okay.
collect yourselves. Yeah,
Like
you'll be fine.
literally, this team is the best team that money can buy in a salary cap world, and you're still freaking complaining. Still.
What kills
And
me
I
is
am too.
Oh.
I complain
the Jets got
100%.
games in hand. Games in hand. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's an opportunity.
Good
to catch
matchup.
up.
I gotta say, Winnipeg was a
We'll
really good
catch up.
matchup.
They got games in hand. That don't mean we're out of first place. Because guess who beat the Winnipeg Jets last night? The Montreal Canadiens, 4-2. So like games in hand means shit unless you win them.
And
So,
I
like-
don't give a shit about first place. You know what?
I
I
don't
don't,
either.
give a shit about first place. I don't
Don't
Fourth
want.
place is
bother
fine
me.
for me. I
Makes
really
no
do
I
not
don't care.
care.
Long as we're there in the playoff contention, I
postseason
don't care
bound.
what spot it is. I would like for Montreal to be below us, but that's just personal. But that has nothing to do with it. Yeah. I don't know. I
No,
completely
I
forgot
hope I
where
don't
was
get first.
going.
I hope we don't get first place, because you know I got everybody's hopes up, and it's like everyone goes right up here, and then they just get brought down here, and they just crash right through the floor, and they start trashing everybody. Everybody shit. The team shit. They can't compete. They're weak. No grit. Freddie sucks. John Ferris is terrible captain.
Yeah.
Enough.
All of it.
I
I mean,
had
I've
enough
said
of that.
all of those things myself, and in spite and sputter,
Because you're an
and
idiot.
but I mean,
I am happy
having
for the break.
you like,
I
I
know.
mean, when you're there watching it, and you're just like, holy shit, you're paid $11 million, and you can't hit the net. Like, it's frustrating, 100%. But the 99% of the times when he shoots, he does hit the net, and it's just we only see that one time that he doesn't, and that's what people stick to, and then they just want to just focus on that and forget it's like bias or something. I don't.
People
Recency
get
bias.
fixated on the negative. That's
Don't be
Recency
cursing
bias.
human
Doritos
nature.
out of my
It's just
mouth
like,
and
Mm.
like,
crapping on people.
calm
The NHL's hard.
down. But yeah, that's that.
That's it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like I always
Yeah.
say. Well, guys, you got anything else you want to talk about? Because I think we've just about run into time there. Anything else you
Yeah.
want to hit?
Jeez, I was looking at Simmons. Did you see the record? 9-2-1 with Simmons in the lineup, and 10-7-1.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know.
the timing. The timing. And if
just,
you okay, but when this season first started, I went back and I kind of skimmed through our schedule. I skimmed through Montreal's schedule. I skimmed through a couple other Canadian teams
Mhm.
to see how the breaks kind of went. Okay. For the most part, ours was like 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. And then we had this 4 and this 4.
Yeah.
Montreal kind of had a little bit like they had like a 3, and then like a 4, but theirs was all back in like January, February.
Yeah,
Our breaks are coming
Vancouver
up
had it too.
now. Yeah, our break is coming up now. And like, yeah, it sucks, but I would much rather this happen now than happen at the end of the season. Because that's what would have happened had this break or this shit the bed session had not have happened now. It would have happened then. So, or sometime between now and then. So it's just like, I'm just like, thank your lucky stars that it's every team goes through some kind of spurt.
Slumpy.
Whether
Yeah.
it's really shitty like it is for us right now at 6 games, or it's only a 3-game skate, or it's a 2-game, but it does happen for every team.
Yeah.
And not just hockey, it happens in basketball. Look at the Raptors right now. Same shit. They were doing
Yeah.
deadly, and now they're like 13th or something. Just
And
saying.
back to the Dubas presser, he said SDA
Mm.
is in quarantine. He's over here
Good.
now. He's going to play Marlies, I guess, and Hoglander's going to be coming over.
I didn't know that. There
Yeah,
you go.
Hollander.
That's
Sorry,
good.
not
Podcast, so you guys can fill me
He
in on
said
my things on
Hollander's
this.
coming over as well, and I'm like, bring it on, okay? Yeah, who
Okay.
gets pushed out?
Did you guys? I don't know if I want to bring it up because it's a bit dark, but I guess you did. Did you
No.
guys see the video of what
The
happened to that
Russian
poor young
19-year-old
guy?
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't look
That's
like much. Hey?
actually no, but I think obviously the distance between where he was stood and where the puck, but I think it's just where it hit him.
Yeah.
It was just like right
Yeah.
in the temple. I think it looked like it's just a freak accident. It's one of
Do we
those
see-
things.
I was wondering, did we see an equipment change or something become mandatory? Like, what was it
Yeah.
that it was such a
Where did it?
You know who we can ask?
Who's lifting the puck?
Yeah, exactly.
We've-
that was literally my thought, Ryan. I was
We've
We've
like,
got a
I
we've
can't
got a
wait.
great guest coming up, guys. For anybody
Yep.
who's curious, we haven't announced it yet officially, so
Nope.
we'll do it now.
We'll do it now.
We're about 2 weeks out. Beginning of April, I think April Fool's Day, we'll be recording. We've got a guest coming on, one of the most brilliant medical minds to ever been born under Canadian flag, Dr. Charles Tatter. If you don't know who he is, prior to the podcast, I highly suggest you just do a quick Google. You'll be incredibly impressed. The man is an absolute genius in the field of neuroscience as well as brain surgery. He's done it all.
He's
Trauma.
literally a
trauma, recovery,
science,
anything you want to know,
and everything.
this guy knows.
Yes,
Yeah.
And he's really excited actually to come on our podcast. When we approached him about it, he said, you know what, I haven't done that before. And he said, I want to make myself feel useful and educational. And he said, your guys' podcast sounds like a great place to start. So
Awesome.
while he works close with the universities in Ontario in their in the medical field as well as in research, he still makes time to give back to the community as well in this regard to make sure that all the information is out there that people need. So if you guys got any questions as well
Yeah.
related to concussion, he's considered the concussion doctor. So he's examined the brains of former players, past players who've been known to have passed from symptoms from concussion and the disease associated. So if you guys got any questions that you'd like to forward, by all means, let us know. We'll certainly relay them to the man. And we're really excited to have him on.
Yeah.
I'll officially not be the
it's gonna be
smartest
cool.
person on the podcast anymore. Oh,
I'm
nothing?
not even gonna say.
You're like,
I'm not even
like-
gonna say anything.
like I screwed
Yeah,
up.
I probably can't even. Honestly,
leave
can't
it
even
alone.
argue with you. Like Chad, we just can't even argue with him.
Yeah.
I'm
Let
sure
him have it.
there's probably an
Depends
argument
on
there.
what we're talking
You can have
about.
it.
you can have it.
Yeah. No,
But yeah, that's going to
again,
be really exciting. I
it's a
can't
really
wait
exciting
to pick his brain.
podcast.
Yeah.
We've been blessed
Yeah.
with amazing guests so far. We're going to try to keep that
Yeah.
ball rolling, and
Yeah.
we're looking to talk about stuff that other people are not talking about in podcasts. That's what we want to do. That's what that
Yeah.
was the inception of this podcast. We want it to be different than the average. You're going to get these Leafs episodes sporadically. We love doing them.
Yeah.
We love chatting with friends about team that we love, but we also want to do different things as well. So make sure you tune in for that one. There's going to be some promo going out. Possibly tomorrow we'll start pushing that out for the doctor.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys want to see anything or want to hear anything from that, by all means, let us know. So anything else, guys? Or can I knock this on the head?
I'm good.
You guys happy? All right. Well, again, same as I always say, if you like what you've seen, you like what you've heard, make sure if you're on the audio trend, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, all the places you listen to your podcasts, thanks so much. We really appreciate the support. We've gotten a lot of messages and positive feedback in the last few weeks, and it makes us want to keep doing this. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. If you're more of the video mindset, you like my beautiful face or Chad's green hat, whatever, by all means, tune
Happy
into
Patterson.
our YouTube channel. Quick search of Deek Snipe Silly on YouTube. You'll get us. You also get us at Facebooks at /Deek Snipe Silly, Twitter at Silly Deek, and at deeksnipesilly.ca. So we got some updating to do there as well in the next couple of days. So again, guys, thanks so much for the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let us know if you want to see anything, and we'll certainly try and get it on. We got lots of cool guests coming up. We've got another 6-7
Yep.
guests in
Got
the
a
queue.
few.
So
Can't
we're looking
wait.
forward to it. On that note, guys,
Yeah.
peace out.
Bye.